In today's episode of Weathering Parenthood, I sit down with Carly Dorfman. She is a pediatric speech and language pathologist, and we talk about how she's able to help parents and families with their children's development, but while also making it really fun.
Everything from the hello song to the goodbye song and everything in between has intention to support development.
We talked about how her love of working with children has now led her to opening her own business.
There was a gap in the community for programming for children. There was nothing that was through a clinical lens and educational for parents at the same time.
So Carly, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's
an honor.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. This is so exciting. Yes. So for people who don't know who you are, give us a little background on yourself, where you're from, how many kids you have, how old they are, that kind of fun stuff.
Sure. So my name's Carly Dorfman. I have 2 kids. My daughter is 8 and my son is 6. And I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist. I've been in the field about 12 years now. And my business has evolved over the years to be so much more than speech therapy, but I'm sure we'll get into that a little sooner. I have a husband and I live in Parkland.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So native to South Florida.
Native to South Florida.
What is a speech language pathologist? I can't say pathologist very quickly, so I'm going to just call you an SLP. That's like the proper, I can
That's the
shorten it
abbreviation.
to that. What is an SLP?
Yes. So a speech language pathologist is a person who helps with all areas of communication, with feeding, swallowing, voice disorders, fluency. We work with children and adults, and it is a wide field. You can work in schools, you can work in hospitals, you can own your own business as a speech language pathologist. So it's a pretty wide range in terms of career, and usually people over the years will find a niche. So they'll either work with adults or peds exclusively, and
You've gone peds exclusively.
And I've gone peds exclusively. Yeah, I worked in lots of different settings in my career over the years. I've always worked with kids, camp counselor, babysitter, nanny. So kids was always my thing. Majority of my career has been with pediatrics. And now I pretty much focus solely on that, mostly kids from, I would say, 1 year old to about 5 years old.
That's fun.
It's like my little niche.
That's like a really cute age.
It's so
I feel
fun.
like too.
It's so fun. I love it.
Yeah.
And now that my kids are a little older, I get to like relive
Yes.
all those best stages of child development with my clients. So it's super fun.
Yeah, my kids are in the 1 to 4 age range now, and they're like the most delicious little
It's so cute.
nuggets. So
Yes.
where did you go to school for your degrees and certifications and all the letters that now like come after your
Lots
name?
of letters.
Yeah.
So I went to University of Miami for my undergrad, go Canes.
Okay.
And then I went to Nova Southeastern University for graduate school. There is a American Speech and Language Hearing Association. It's called ASHA. That's like our governing body. And so, yes, all those letters after my name, SLP, CCC, Certification of Clinical Competence, that comes into play once you are a licensed speech therapist practicing in the
Okay.
field.
So more things that you get to add to.
Yes.
So she's legit, you guys. Don't worry. We're not talking to just anybody here. So you own your own small business, which we're going to talk about a little bit. But going back to before you opened your small business and started it, you said you worked in schools and other settings. Where did you work? You know, like once you graduated, you were done. It's time to go, get a job. Where did you start?
Yeah. So my very first job out of school was in a private practice. It was owned by an SLP. And that's kind of where I got my feet wet, was face to face with families and children for the very first time. You get some of that in your training as a speech therapist, but that was my first job. I was there for probably a year or so, but I felt like it was very kind of isolated. Like it was me and myself in my office, and I wanted more. So then I went to work in a elementary school. I loved it. I was there for also almost a year. Then it was summer, and I was like, okay, I need like a summer job.
Yeah.
So I interviewed at another company, another private practice, just for the summer.
Right.
And they're like, we want to hire you and you can't leave.
Oh,
So
okay.
I ended up staying there for the majority of my career. I learned a lot about talking to parents. It's so interesting because a lot of people think, you work with kids, you work with babies, but all of those babies and children come with adults.
Right.
And so that is a whole art, how to communicate with an adult about their child, which is like the most precious thing in the world. And you might be touching on sensitive subjects or opening their eyes up to things that they didn't know about their child. And you have to finesse that. And I think in that setting, with a lot of guidance and support, was able to hone that art. They don't teach you that in school,
No.
You can't learn that in school.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's hard for someone to, I know for me, I'd be like, wait, there's like, my child has a speech delay, or you said you do feeding and, eating therapy. Like, it's hard to maybe come to grasp with like, no, there's nothing wrong with my kid.
Exactly.
And you have to kind of break the news, not, for lack of a better term, to these parents that, maybe their child needs a little extra support.
Exactly. So now I would say that that's one of my biggest strengths, is being able to communicate and share information with parents, deliver it in a way that they can understand and digest and feel comfortable. I also now like to incorporate parents into my therapy sessions.
Okay.
So they can see firsthand what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. So they feel more comfortable with the whole process. They can carry over some of the strategies at home. And it's a really nice whole family dynamic.
That's great. Because I feel like you have to be able to do that, like work with the parents, because if they're only, meeting with you maybe once a week for 30 minutes to an hour at most, you got to be able to continue that for the rest of, the other 23 hours plus the rest of the 6 days that they're not with you.
Exactly. And I say that all of the time to parents, like the little blip that they're with me isn't the thing that's going to make the change. It's that consistency throughout the week, every day, making changes at home so that the child can be successful.
So you were at this place where they said you can't leave.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, she eventually left.
I left.
And you started your own company, KIDnection.
Yeah.
And now it's its own freestanding building. So let's go back to the
early days.
The early days where you left a place you said you can't leave. How did that go? What was that like? What made you want to do this?
I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I always wanted to be my own boss. And working in another person's business for a long time, I saw a lot of the things that she was doing right, a lot of the things that maybe I would do different if it were me. And I had the thought for quite some time, and I literally woke up one day and was like, this is it. I'm not going back. And I sent an email. That was it.
Okay.
I picked my stuff up in a cardboard box from my office.
Like you see in the movies?
Literally in the movies. And I never went back. It was scary to do that for sure. I didn't know what the business was going to turn into. I knew I had my speech language pathology background to kind of stand on. So I was like, it's okay. I'll just see some private clients and I don't know where I'm going to find them. I ended up getting my first client from the park. I was at the park with my son, and this mom came up to me and was like, wow, your son speaks so well. And I was like, I'm a speech therapist. Like, I don't know. And she goes, I've been looking for one.
Wow.
And that's how I got my first client.
That's amazing.
And then I just really hustled. I was putting myself out there. I was like literally knocking on the door of every preschool in my neighborhood. I would go to where kids go. So and my kids were of the age at the time. They were 2 and 4.
Okay.
So it was like my ideal client base. Some of my first clients were kids that my children went to school with.
Okay.
It really evolved from there. I just started just really putting myself out there. Pediatricians, restaurants, like literally anywhere where a kid would be,
Yeah.
my flyer was there.
If there's a kid's menu.
If there's a
Carly's
kid's
name
menu.
is stamped on top of the kid's
And
menu.
we'll talk more about that because literally there is a restaurant nearby where KIDnection is now that has my name on their kids menu.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I was really creative and, slowly built my caseload. And as I was doing that, I noticed that within the community, both personally with my own children and in serving this population, that there was a gap in the community for programming for children.
Okay.
And I had this thought that, and I'd been to other like mommy and me style classes with my own children, but there was nothing that was through a clinical lens and educational for parents at the same time.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, what if I can marry the two, teach parents like I've been doing so well, not in a therapy environment, in a fun, playful,
Place.
loving, warm, friendly, supportive environment. And that's how the KIDnection classes were born. So, Lauren,
Yeah. I've been to a few. They're really fun.
Yes. So the classes started in people's backyards,
Yep.
in the park, in literally anywhere where I could like lay a mat down on the floor
And make a little bit of a mess.
and make a little bit of mess. Yes. There's no fun unless there's a little bit of a mess
Yes.
involved. And so I created this curriculum of classes where I was providing education to parents to support their children's language and development while also creating fun, entertaining, silly, playful, messy experiences for kids.
Yeah, so she would come with these like boxes,
Yeah.
like a sensory box.
Yes.
So talk to us about like creating those and why they're beneficial for kids, because maybe parents see it and it's like it's a tub of flour
Yeah.
and like hard uncooked pasta noodles.
Yeah.
Like this is what they are.
True.
But like it's beneficial for like
Yes.
children's development.
Yes.
How did you come up with that idea, and why is a box of flour and dried pasta noodles beneficial for children's development?
Yes. So when children are developing all their skills as babies to toddlers and beyond, it's about stimulating their sensory system. So what do they see? What do they smell? What do they touch? What do they taste? That's how they learn. So the sensory bin is exactly that. It's a plastic box filled with something that the children can touch, flour, rice, cereal, sand, something that like moves in the hands, and tools that they could use to manipulate whatever's at the bottom of the box.
Okay.
And through that experience, the children are learning so many concepts. Firstly, just that experience of touching different textures supports experiencing something new.
Okay.
So every week we would bring a new box with a different texture, and that experience of new as a baby and toddler helps them to understand that just because something is new and different doesn't mean it's scary or bad or weird or I can't. So you're exposing them to this new concept. So as they grow, and maybe you're introducing them to a new food or a new place or a new sound or a new fuzzy sweater, they have this experience from baby toddlerhood to kind of hook into, to remind them, oh, this is different, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
So that's one piece.
Okay.
Through the play, right, they're pouring and dumping and filling and emptying. They're problem solving. What would happen if I filled this all the way to the top? Then it overflows. There's more. There's less. Heavy, light. So all these little details and concepts they're experiencing through the play. And as the speech language pathologist, I'm adding the language that matches all of that experience. More, less, scoop, dump, give me.
Yeah.
Messy.
Yeah.
So all the language through the experience is how they learn what it means.
That's very cool. So it's like stuff you wouldn't think about as a parent, but because this is your clinical background, you know that like holding a sand scooper in a thing of rice is going to help their development.
Yeah. I like to say that whether it's the KIDnection classes or one of my speech therapy sessions, it looks like play. And I like to tell parents that the therapy session, for example, is like your child is experiencing playing with mommy's friend. That is their experience. I know everything I'm doing has intention and is there for a reason. Same thing in the classes. Everything from the hello song to the goodbye song and everything in between has intention to support development.
That's very cool.
From the runways of New York and Paris to Mario Pucci Bocca, over 2,000 beautiful dresses and gowns in stock daily. Sizes 00 through 26, now with shoes and jewelry to match. Mario Pucci Bocca, where every lady who walks through our door is our most important customer.
So you were doing these in people's backyards, at the park, in someone's living room if it was too hot or raining because it's Florida.
Yeah.
And now you have your own freestanding
Yes.
location.
Yes.
How did that, how did these backyard mommy and me essentially classes evolve into your own business now?
Yeah. So one of my favorite things about what I do is connecting with people in the community. It's how we met, right? I didn't think back then that I would be here today. And so putting myself out there, like I mentioned, I met a realtor, a commercial real estate agent. And he was like, hey, I have this space. I think it would be perfect for you. And I was like, I am not looking for a space.
Right.
I don't know the first thing about, running a physical location and paying rent, but okay. And I just sort of jumped in.
Okay.
And it started off just me there doing my classes, every day of the week to fill the space. And now I had this rent to pay. And I still wanted to maintain the speech therapy practice as well.
Okay.
So I hired speech therapists to support that part of the business and seeing private clients. And I could only do so much in a day, right? I have my own 2 kids. And I then thought, well, what if I brought in other people who could teach classes to my clients?
Okay.
So it went from just me doing my same classes multiple days a week to now I do my classes. I'm there 1 day a week, but every day is something different.
Okay.
And the parents now tell me that their children are so cultured because every day they're experiencing something new. So like Monday is music and Wednesday is dance and Thursday is art. And all of our instructors are professionals in their field. So they have been, teaching dance for like 25 years professionally. The music educator has been teaching music education with her guitar. She has all the trainings. She's been teaching for also like 20 years. The art teacher, she's a local artist. And she, goes to the art shows and is like a real painter with a studio, but comes to classes and does baby art with the kids.
That's really cute.
Everything's taste safe and, they're painting on the canvas, but then like licking the paintbrush.
Yeah.
So it's all developmentally appropriate and so enriching for the kids to have these experiences.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they're all different types of classes each day.
Yes.
And I'm sure week to week, you're not learning the same dance over and over, I
No,
assume.
yes. So every week they're growing.
Okay.
So how we run it is a 10-week session.
Okay.
And every week the class builds upon what they learned the week before. And it really, by the end of those 10 weeks, I mean, they can do like a little performance in the dance class.
Stop it. It's
And
so adorable.
they're participating in the music class, singing along with all the songs. In the art class, they like literally can have like an exhibition with all the things that they've made over the course of the 10 weeks. And in my class, every week, we focus on a different area of language and development.
Okay.
So you see that growth. I hear the feedback from the parents, oh, now my son is saying bubbles because you taught him that.
Yeah.
Or he's using the sign for more. You taught him that.
Yeah.
So that's just so cool.
So do you think parents, even if they don't necessarily think their child has a developmental delay or, they don't necessarily need an SLP, the classes can still be beneficial or just a fun way for them to like get out with their kids one day.
Absolutely. The classes are actually for everybody.
Right.
Most of the kids that come, I would say 90% of the kids that come don't have a speech or language delay. It is all information. The parents feel so empowered because they're getting this information that they wouldn't otherwise find. They watch their kids grow and develop each week. It kind of gives them a little push in the right direction because, like I said, everything is intentional. It's not just random songs.
Right.
Every song is chosen for a reason. Every toy is placed for a specific reason. So that really helps to support their development. And then I hear from parents like 4 or 5 years later telling me that their kids are still singing the same songs that they, learned from me, or now compared to, maybe other children in their class, they're talking so much more, like they're talking better and they're engaging better and they're just, benefiting from that experience from when they were little.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are listening that don't live here or they live too far. They're not, they can't drive all the way to Parkland.
Yeah.
What would you say to a parent just, that's listening, like, here are ways to help with your child's development? Because I feel like it's such a, especially for new parents, like you get this thing from the hospital and they're like, go home and take care of it.
Yes.
And then you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What would you say to parents of,
Yep. So it's so interesting you say that because since we were doing classes together 3-4 years ago, I started offering classes for newborns, babies from 0 to 4 months.
Okay.
And what I say to those parents in that newborn stage is your job is, and it always is, but especially in that newborn phase, just to give them experiences. Taking them outside is such a sensory rich experience for a newborn. They feel the wind, they hear the birds, they feel the sun. So just giving them different experiences is the best thing you can do as a parent. Talking throughout your day. So narrating what you're doing.
Okay.
I'm taking a sip of water. I'm filling your cup with milk. Watch mommy brush her teeth. If the baby's just like sitting there staring at you, talk about what you're doing.
Because they can still hear you.
They hear you and they see you. And that's how they learn language. They see something happening. They hear the words that go with it.
Right.
And that assigns meaning to the language. Once they understand it, they'll eventually start to use it.
That is very cool. So what would you say to a parent, and this is maybe a little more of like a serious topic, who thinks that their child, might have maybe a speech delay or something? Yeah. What do they do? Where do they start?
Yeah. So what I always tell parents is you are always right. If you have a feeling of something that makes you pick up the phone and call me, you're probably right. There's a reason. The pediatrician might not see it, another adult and, grandparent might not see it. But if you feel it, you know your child best, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So the first step, you could speak to your pediatrician, share your concerns, and if you feel like your child needs support with their communication, speak to a speech language pathologist. We are the ones that have that specific training to know the milestones, what's expected, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Parents call me all the time. They, the kid is 2 and they're like, he's not saying his S sound. I'm like, he's okay for now.
That's developmentally normal.
Exactly. But speak to a speech language pathologist and just get information. Information is power and it's not scary. Speech therapy, people think therapy and they think
there's something majorly wrong.
Yeah. Yes. But it's all information. It's all beneficial. There's nothing that a speech therapist is going to do that's going to harm a child.
Right.
So whether they are just borderline, or even I've worked with kids that we do specific testing to see where their skills are. And they might come out in the testing as developmentally where they should be.
Okay.
But the parent still feels like the child needs support or they need support. They don't know what to do.
Right.
So I'm happy to step in and provide that support for them, whether they are, severely delayed or just need a little guidance.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, like I kind of said, they send you like off
Yes.
with a baby. Like kids don't come with a manual.
No. And the one thing that I have experienced, and I don't know if you can attest this too as a second-time mom, is even though you had an experience with your first child, the second is completely different.
They couldn't be any different from each other.
100% of the time, that is the only consistent thing, is that the two are not at all the same. What worked for one does not work for the other. What one was strong in, the other is maybe struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my first wasn't like a big eater. Even like when it came time to like eating solids, he was like, I don't want this. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
Food just like wasn't his interest, which is shocking to my husband and I, who like are constantly, it's like at breakfast, what are we having for dinner? And then we're at dinner, what's for breakfast the next morning? My second, he's 1 now, and all he does is eat. Like anything you give him, he'll try.
That's amazing.
It's great. Sometimes he'll pick it up and he's like, this feels gross. Like, I'm going to throw it away.
Yeah.
But like 9.5 times out of 10, if you give him something, he's going to eat it.
That's amazing.
And we're like, who is this?
Right. But you're right, because you didn't have that experience with your first. Yep.
It's wild, like how different they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's sometimes like parents shouldn't be afraid if they're, if they think there's something wrong with their child. It doesn't mean it's permanent.
Exactly.
If you do these early interventions, you can do something about it.
Yes. So I tell parents too, my goal is to not have you in therapy. The earlier you can start, the quicker children move through the process. And the younger they are, they're not going to remember.
Right.
So you're giving them this gift that's going to serve them for the rest of their life, and they don't even know it. And you will feel so much better when you're given that reassurance, when you're given that validation, and when you feel supported with this child that doesn't have a manual.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's great. I like that you say that, like, we don't want you here. Like, we want to help you with your issues and then, like,
send you on your way.
Send the parents and the families with the tools they need.
Yes.
And then maybe occasionally they'll come back for a class because it's just fun.
Yes, exactly. That's my goal. That's like my ideal situation.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any like goals or future plans, like what you would like to do next? If there's no like, if there's surprises, you don't have to share them, but like, what are your like hopeful next steps as you like continue to grow your business?
Sure. So my mind is always going. I always have something brewing back here. And I think that that's part of being an entrepreneur is always, never feeling satisfied that this is just it. So I'm working on, so you mentioned earlier, parents might not be local. And how do they get this information? And the next thing I'm working on is an online course to train SLPs, OTs, PTs on how to offer KIDnection classes in their own communities.
I love that.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've already started the filming and putting it together. So I can't wait to bring that to fruition and share it with the world.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if you're not, local to Florida, anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
That's so great.
Yes.
So when you made the transition, going back a few steps now, from working at the place where they said you can never leave, you started your own business, and now, of course, the freestanding business itself.
Yeah.
How has this sort of helped you in your parenthood journey? Like going from, I guess, maybe a 9 to 5 to now, any time of day type of thing.
Yes. So it's all for the kids.
Yeah.
Everything we do is for our kids, So when I started the business, I started working very few hours because my kids were young and I wanted to be there with them as much as I could, especially going from that 9 to 5 where I couldn't even drop them off or pick them up from school to giving myself an experience, an opportunity to be more present. As they've grown, now they're in elementary school, so they're there, from we leave the house at like 7:30 to I pick them up around 4. I have more time and I am working more. So I'm happy to be doing that. I get, like I said, to relive babyhood through all of my clients. I now started offering classes for children my own kids' age.
Okay.
So at KIDnection, we do the grown up and me thing during the day while my kids are at school. And in the afternoons, we do drop off. So for kindergarten to third grade, you can drop your kid off for 2 hours. We do all kinds of fun activities. I give them dinner. We decorate cookies or cupcakes. We make slime. All the things my kids want to be doing.
Yeah.
And we do different themes. And it's all inspired by my own kids.
Okay.
My daughter was really into Taylor Swift. We did a whole Taylor Swift night.
Okay, I love
My
it.
son was really into sports. We did a whole sports night.
Okay.
It's all for the kids.
Yeah.
And they get to come and they get to see what I do. And the thing that brings me the most joy is when it like makes me want to cry. My daughter will be like, "You have the coolest job."
I was
like,
going to say, what do they think of what you do?
she's 8. She can really verbalize and like
Okay.
understand what I do.
Yeah.
She's like, "I can't believe you're my mom."
Oh, that's
And,
so
like,
sweet.
Her friends from school come to these events and she's like Mommy and everyone else is like Miss Carly and she thinks it's just the coolest thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that happens forever until
Yes,
like
I know.
there better not be like a teenage year, which is like, "Ugh, Mom,
I know.
get out of here."
Exactly.
From the runways of New York and Paris to Mario Pucci Bocca, over 2,000 beautiful dresses and gowns in stock daily. Sizes 00 through 26, now with shoes and jewelry to match. Mario Pucci Bocca, where every lady who walks through our door is our most important customer.
What does your
know.
son think of it? Does he
I'm
like it
hanging
too?
on to every minute. Oh, yes. He likes, so my daughter doesn't like to come to the baby stuff anymore.
Okay.
But my son does.
Aw.
So on days where maybe, like this coming Tuesday, he doesn't have school.
Okay.
He's like, "Can I come to work with you?"
That's really cute.
And he like wants to be my helper and he'll sit on my lap and like still participate in the class.
Really sweet.
Yeah. So they are just so proud of me. And that is like my biggest accomplishment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's also very beneficial when like there's no school and you're like, "Oh no, what do we do with the kids all day?"
Yeah.
Because like finding
Yeah.
a sitter
Yeah.
or someone having to stay home from work,
Yeah. Yeah. No, they love coming.
you've like figured out the
Yeah.
the formula.
I guess
You
so.
beat the system.
It's just sort of evolved.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have the thought to do these drop-off events. Like, no, I just do classes for babies.
Right.
But as my kids grew, I said, there's a market here.
Yeah.
And those classes, the minute I put them out, they fill within the day.
That's great.
Yeah. So
That's really cool.
Really cool.
I like that
Yeah.
they like what you do.
Yeah.
Because you always like want to have a parent that has a cool job.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And so we talked about the sensory bins a little bit. I also do Play-Doh that I make myself.
Oh, how do you do that?
Yes. So I follow this recipe.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Motherhood on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, so it's her recipe.
Okay.
I actually met her a couple weeks ago.
Oh, very
She
cool.
is so cool.
Awesome.
And I cried when I met her too.
Really?
Because
That's so funny.
I was like, I literally, what you're writing about, like I bring it to life. And I
Yeah.
share it with so many people. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
So the Play-Doh, I make Play-Doh and I sell like these little kits. And I went into my daughter's school the other day and it was National Play-Doh Day.
Okay.
And I was the mystery reader.
Oh, cute.
And I brought all my Play-Doh ingredients and I made Play-Doh with her class and everyone got to take home, a little Play-Doh kit. And it was just so fun to share that experience with my own daughter, all the kids in her class. And yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's evolved into such just like
it just keeps evolving.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
That's great that you also like have more ideas, and I'm sure once the like videos go out, something else will spin up and it'll keep branching.
Oh,
and
there's more. There's more just
I mean, your
waiting.
kids are going to continue to get older. Like you're going to have,
They're going to keep inspiring me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so I like to end each episode sharing our parenting high and low for the week. I call it the sun,
Yeah.
like a sunshine,
Yeah.
and a storm because the weather and my job and that kind of
Yes,
fun stuff.
I love it.
So I'll go first.
Sure.
And then, so you start thinking
Okay.
of what yours could be for the week. I'm going to start with my storm. And my storm is that like 30 minutes before we started this interview, my toddler barfed at school.
Oh, God.
And it was the scramble to figure out who's going to go pick him up.
Yes.
So I think my husband's on his way right now. I also texted my mom, can you do it? And he's like, no, I got this. It's okay. And I was like, well, I have an interview, so I can't go. So the joys of, parenting and
Working, and doing all the things.
Occasionally, someone's going to get sick and have to get picked up from school.
Yes.
And then my son is that my youngest, he is now 1, is walking everywhere. Like
So cute.
all over the place. He's a boy and he has an older brother. So like the bouncing off the walls and the scaling the buildings and the jumping off the couches, like of course I'm
yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah.
And so he's walking way earlier than my oldest did. And I think it's because he sees the wild animal
Sure.
that my toddler is that he lives with. And he's like, I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, you've got to keep up.
So it's really cute to see him just like walking everywhere and like grabbing a bag. He'll like grab a bag of like, if there's like something on the counter that he can reach,
Yeah.
he'll grab like a bag of puffs and just walk around the house with it,
Helping
eating
himself.
them. I'm like, this is like the weirdest thing. You're like a small little baby human, but like I can't stop watching you just walk like you own the place.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So cute. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Your
So
turn.
nice. Okay. So I'll start with my son. My son is, I mentioned I'm filming these videos.
Okay.
So we had a huge photo shoot video thing yesterday going on at our physical KIDnection space.
Cool.
And my kids walked in and the look on their face was like, Mommy, what are you doing? And they wanted to see the clips that we filmed,
Wow.
and they were just so like, wow. And while we were filming, they were also just so well behaved.
That's amazing.
Like sitting quietly, which never happens, eating their little snack, just doing their thing. So I was very proud of them. And that was just like such a beautiful little moment. I was very happy.
That's
like
really cool.
I thought they could have come in and just like stormed the place.
Yeah.
But no, they came in and they sat down and they were just very good.
That's like incredible. Having a child like sit in silence while you're trying to do something.
Yeah, rare.
Major feat.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, rare occurrence, but
sure.
it all worked out. My storm. I don't know. I think I'm just going to like, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't pick one specific thing. It is just a lot. Handling, constant messages and things, disasters, and doing all that, and, like for the business and for my kids. Like in the same moment, an instructor is sick and I have to cancel class, and my kid,
I need my homework.
spilled their cereal on their floor. And I'm like trying to do both, and you can't.
Yeah, you
you
can't.
know, or just like embrace. That's gonna sit for a little while. I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing. Like the laundry's piling, and it's just a lot.
There's so much laundry.
So much
I've said this on
laundry.
a previous episode. I was talking to the guest and she's like, yeah, I have like 8 piles of laundry in my house. And I'm like, I'm afraid we should buy another laundry bin. But if we buy another laundry bin, we're just going to have an 8th pile of laundry in the house.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we have one extra small human that joined the fam, but somehow it's like an exponentially, it's an exponential growth in terms of the laundry. Why is it like this?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I'm glad it's not just me.
It's not just you. It's if you're listening, it's not just you either. Like
Yeah.
it's the laundry.
The laundry.
It's really quite
the
like
laundry.
there's just so much of it. Yeah, it feels like when one thing, it's like we figure out one thing and then we're on to like I don't know what.
Yeah.
I'm sure we had something happen last week. I can't remember. My brain doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And now we just barfed and we got
Yeah.
to get picked up from school.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's not one thing, it's the next.
Absolutely.
And when I don't even want to say one door closes, another opens. Because
But kind of.
it's like when one chaotic problem finishes,
The next one comes.
the next chaotic problem
Yes.
explodes.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So I
quite
think
wild.
that's just parenthood.
Yeah.
And they're teaching us as much as we are supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
They are our biggest teachers. They are our mirrors. They show us all the things that we need to learn. And I guess they're teaching me how to multitask and time manage. And that's an ongoing process and learning, and
We'll figure it out until they figure out how to make us grow third arms.
Yes.
We'll just have to, it's like the tabs, like 1,000 tabs open on your computer. There's 1,000 tabs open in my brain about
That's it.
the checklist of what needs to get done.
Exactly.
It's really,
exactly.
but it's so fun.
Yeah. And we appreciate the little moments. Like
Yes.
in that storm of chaos, then, there's the hug and the thank you and the kiss and the,
It makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I agree. Carly, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for
having me. This was so great. We're going to put all of your social media, website, all the stuff at the show notes so that people that want to connect with you or follow along can find all your stuff.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys all next week for another episode.
Yay.